I want you guys to put your hands together for Mr. David Murphy. David Murphy.
Hey everybody. Yeah, a friend of mine said I should go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I was like, okay. I didn't know he was talking about a movie. So I don't know how I'm gonna pull that off. But, yeah, I suffer from multiple personality disorder, which, by itself is not too bad, but what sucks is that every one of my personalities has imposter syndrome. I don't even know who they are. Yeah, I suck at parking cars, which is why I'm really glad I don't live in a parallel universe. Yeah, I've been thinking about the tooth fairy. You ever wonder, what is the tooth fairy, where does she keep all those teeth? I mean, she's gotta have a huge collection now, just massive numbers. It's gotta be some kind of dental record. And they say dogs have a keen sense of smell. I think that's total nonsense because dogs like to smell other dogs' buttholes. Human sense of smell is much more keen, and I am reminded of that fact every time I smell a dog's butthole. Yeah, speaking of buttholes, my doctor recently stuck his finger in my butthole. He's like, Mr. Murphy, you have an enlarged prostate. And, I was concerned at first, but I thought, what if my doctor just has really small fingertips? I recently bought my first piece of digital real estate in the metaverse using crypto. It was a digital house, but I got behind on the mortgage payments, so they booted my hard drive. And now my hard drive enclosure is in foreclosure. A lot of people are worried about artificial intelligence, or AI as they call it. Yeah, so to counter that threat, I've decided to tackle it head on with artificial ignorance, or AI as I call it. Yeah, a lot of people are worried about technology, facial recognition software. That doesn't bother me though. Now, anal recognition software, that's crossing the line. A lot of guys are like, I'm an avid outdoorsman. Not me, I'm an avid indoorsman. I like hiking, up my pants, surfing on the couch, fishing for the remote. Yeah, I've been trying to eat in a more healthy way though. Problem is I keep spilling my milkshakes on the treadmill. Yeah, tonight I'll see if nachos on a Peloton goes any better. Yeah, I have an endorsement. I tried indoor skydiving recently, but the runway was too short for the plane to take off. I wouldn't have had sufficient altitude in that building for the chute to open anyway. Went to a blind psychic recently. And jokingly I asked her, can you really see into my future? She's like, yeah, don't be an asshole. And I felt really bad because that's exactly what I had planned on being in my future. I don't care if the government raises my taxes, because I don't even know if they're mine. The government has screwed me, but I don't know if those are my taxes. I was a medical tourism director for the Department of Amputation. Really, did I go out on a limb to get that job? And my employment was cut short. I complained to HR. They said I didn't have a leg to stand on. Yeah, I also tried to get into anger management. I only qualified to be an intern. So my therapist said, David, I want to see something positive in your life. So I showed her my recent HIV test results. She said, that's not what I meant. What, are you crazy? I said, yeah, but remember, we don't use that word anymore. All right, that's what I got. I gotta go see a movie. Thanks.